before we end, I've got to get it in that you are a part of the Aretha Franklin biopic with Jennifer Hudson, and you are playing the
Yes.
icon James Cleveland, the king of gospel.
The
Now, did
Reverend
you,
Dr.
the
James
Reverend Dr.
Cleveland. Yes,
James
ma'am.
Cleveland, did you watch Amazing Grace prior to actually tackling the role, or did you see it post?
So, very good. When I was about 12 years old is when I started directing the choirs at church. And one of the catalogs that I would go to was that of James Cleveland. I digress, but I past the year 2000, I have no idea what gospel sounds like because I didn't have a car for so long, having moved to New York. So I was getting all my information from the radio. So, outside of big, large choirs and choral sounds, my knowledge of gospel music is kind of stalled. And so I was fixated on Carol Antrim and Dr. Mattie Moss Clark and James Cleveland. And I remember specifically listening to Aretha Franklin's version of Precious Lord, and later realized that was from a live documentary, subsequently, that we now know as Amazing Grace. And so when I got offered the role, it's so interesting because I read that was happening, and I knew that James Cleveland was a mentor for Aretha, and they were quite close. He taught her how to play the piano and all sorts of things. And I just felt this bizarre feeling that I was going to play this man. This is not me saying, no one else could have done it. But there were other people, I'm sure, who would have done just as equally a good job. But I felt such a connection to him. And so, yes, of course, I watched the documentary, but I had already had a great deal of knowledge about the legend, and I had an opportunity to speak to his daughter, and she gave me some lovely little tidbits and anecdotes, and then, of course, my first day of filming was James Cleveland's birthday, and so that just felt it just felt full circle, and I felt a sense of him, giving me his blessing, and I hope I do him justice. But being in that movie, which is so brilliantly directed by Liesl Tommy, was one of the greatest joys and highlights of my career to date. And I think Jennifer Hudson is going to be nominated for another Oscar, if not win the goddamn thing.